And it says it's sending data. Let's just give it a second. And they're starting to turn green. Okay, Jordan, why don't you count me down from 10 to 1 and we'll start the music. Go ahead. We're ready.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Seven,
6,
six,
5,
five,
4,
four,
3,
three,
2.
2. Let's do this.
Where does yesterday's future, which is already here, meet today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes away? Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future right now. Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
There we are, Bonnie D. And I'm going to play another piece of music to start a different type. This is a special edition of Technology Revolution. We've been waiting for this for a long time. And let me go in and see if I can get this started here. Here we go. Okay, music up.
So you wanna be?
So you want to be. Simon knows what this is. You want to be a cool kid. Hanging with the insect. Looking real. Cool and fine. Casting your net. So you want to be. Wait for the drum roll. Bop, 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 bop. There we go. Those are my lyrics. And Serge Hoffman, our wonderful friend in Paris, did the music and the song. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a very special edition of Technology Revolution. Today I'm debuting on this show a special edition called We Dish. Two, all in caps, TOO, but it's also TWO. Saucy Dame, that's me, and my first cool dude, Simon M. Simon Meitz, wave hello. And Simon, the secret be told, I started doing the Cool Dude Show on October 15th, 2024. And you were my cool dude number 10. And I have since spoken to 30 cool dudes. And I did the math. In 176 days, I have spoken to 30 people. And that comes out to one cool dude every 5.67741935 days. What do you think of that, Simon?
Great math.
Well, Alexa's very good. Alexa is really, really good at math. But I also used my calculator I used my calculator too. So I'd like to introduce us in a very special way. I have a very long bio for Simon, and then I'm going to do something very unusual, Simon. I worked with my VA, virtual assistant Sylvie, with whom I speak in very articulate French, more on her side than mine. I asked her to take my bio and write me a little rhyming intro for myself. Do you think you can handle that? You think you can stand it?
Yeah, as long as I don't have to read it, that's fine. You probably write
No,
better than that than
I'm
me.
going to do it. So let me start with the whole thing, and then we'll go all the way through. This is going to be long. And wave hello. We don't have any live. Well, I don't know if we
Great.
have any live viewers, but let's just go. You know us well, Bonnie D and Simon too. Seasoned in life, and we love what we do. From LinkedIn's halls in social's embrace, we love sharing insights in our savvy people space. Now here on We Dish, special edition, we're here to play, lightening up life in our uniquely fresh way. Welcoming Simon M., a cool dude on a lifelong quest. Here's my rhyming intro. Then, if I left anything out, he'll tell us the rest. The story of Simon M., a life sustainably phased. When Bonnie D speaks with Simon, she is always amazed. Meet Simon Joseph Attila Meitz, a man of depth and flair, from snowy March beginnings to adventures everywhere. Born in 82, you kid you, his parents inspired his dreams with mom's tailored artistry and dad's real estate streams. Grandma's Austrian farmhouse fueled Simon's playful imagination. Woods and farmyard thrills sparked endless exploration. A lover of the great outdoors, Simon climbed the highest peaks. Heliboarding, cliff jumping, he's an adventurer who seeks. At school, his brilliance was his secret source. Business math, law, economics, he mastered every course. Prestigious halls like Eichstätt, Augsburg, and the LSE saw Simon graduate magna cum laude with prideful glee. I'm magna cum laude too. In his career, he's led with vision and might, building strategies for industry's future shining bright. From Cotter's industrial growth to Industry 4 sway, Simon shapes economies in his uniquely transformative way. At EY, he co-founded Carbon with a capital C in the sustainability beat, with innovation and speed a record-breaking feat. Through ESG strategies and alliance goals, Simon's work with global brands redefined their roles. A speaker, a writer, an expert in green innovation, from podcasts to panels, Simon has fueled global conversations. With the Kazakhstan's president, he shared decarbonization story on carbon pricing's role in Europe, Eco Glory. Though AI sparks his vision, he loves a tactile start with pen and paper. Simon's ideas flow from his heart. He's a mentor, a thinker, a leader profound, turning bold ideas into actions that astound. Now back in Munich, the mountains call his name. Simon, Simon, Simon. Scaling peaks and crafting futures, he plays the strategy game. A legacy of intellect, adventure, and drive. Simon J.A. Meitz. His brilliance comes alive. What'd you think?
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
heard it. I heard it before, but it's like always. The presentation is amazing as always. Thank you.
Thank you. And now
I'm
let me
always
read.
blushing.
Oh, I'm blushing for you. Now let me read. I should make you read mine, but that's all right. I'll do it. So a little about me, the rhyming saga of Bonnie D. She's Bonnie D with a mic and flair, a voice that travels everywhere. From radio waves to live stream glow, she hosts bold insights to smoothly flow. Since 2011, she's set the pace, creating more than 50 series in cyberspace. Strategy, tech, and future talk, she hosts thought leaders from every walk. For SAP and Deloitte, she's many hosted. OESA, BMC, Rising, Wipro also boasted. She orchestrates roundtables, sparks the flame, and millions worldwide know her name. Shh, don't tell anybody. She's not a script or timed cliche. She spins real thought in a fresh, bold way. No pushy pitch, no jargon-puffed maze, just spirited talk that innovators praise. A mainframe computer whiz in her early days, she coded COBOL and PL1 in savvy ways, then crafted marketing messages with style and produced events across many a mile. She's rocked the comedy mic with comic gold, improvised improv on stages, fearless and bold. She's emceed wedding bands to fashion shows, hosted bachelor auction fundraisers with tuxes who pose. She's a playwright, a rock drummer, a concert MC queen. She staged it all with flair unseen. Entertainment reporter for B.B. King, Joan Rivers, and Patti LaBelle. Her stories and photos had much to tell. In October 2024, she imagined a new show, We Dish, Two Saucy Dame plus Cool Dude, you know. In 176 days, she's spoken with 31 savvy guys, 31. That's one every 5.67741935 days, and each one is very wise. Now with brush and verse, she crafts her art, each piece a glimpse into her heart. Now fiction calls. Her novel is a tale waiting to be finished right. A satirical mystery wrapped in delight. As Bonnie D signs her every email, onward. Join her on her unstoppable trail. What'd you think?
Well done. I've never heard that before. That's amazing.
I've never heard it before either. It was just written about an hour ago. So we're here on the special edition of We Dish, chatting on Life's Score, culture, music, food, and oh, so much more. Join us live or on demand, day or night. We won't be here, but that's what on demand is for. And enjoy our dishing with shared delight. Meet us for real in our live streaming glow. Simon, show us that you're glowing, 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 glowing. Here we go. Comments are welcome. Just play nice. We know who you are. We know. We Dish, Two Saucy Dame plus Cool Dude, Bonnie D, and Simon M, dishing on life's fun. Pour vu. There we go. So now we've been properly
Great.
introduced. Yes. I've never written a bio about myself before, but there we are. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to have fun. We're not going to do predictions, but let's talk about tech just a little bit. Simon, what lured you into the technology field? Just briefly, and do you use AI at all? Just truth time. Go ahead.
I I do use AI, yes, I do. But at this stage, to be honest, I'm really aware of its restrictions. I guess we're still very early on in the development, and I think it helps a lot to work together to come up with new ideas to make an idea or a business model a lot more efficient, to identify some risks in the supply chain or whatnot. There are so many potential ways, and I'm mostly using it like privately to do a couple of different things. We can deep dive into that a bit later. But what I see is the the creative ideas always still have to come from the human. So creativity wise, it's in my mind still lacking quite a bit behind.
It's getting there. They say, Simon, I want you to move up a little bit. We want to see your shirt. Just there you go. There you go. Okay, I want to see you. I use AI for my backgrounds. The background you see here, I designed that in Night Cafe Studio. I'm not a Mid-Journey user. And then I use good old-fashioned Photoshop, which has all kinds of AI tools and tweaks in it. But I use it mostly to replicate, duplicate, add text, and do layouts and things like that. And behind the little banner that says "We Dish TOO" are the eyes and the lips and the face of the lady, the person I created in Night Cafe for the We Dish series. And I just took a little tiny snip of it to bring it in today. So there. And I have they say there's no empathy in AI. Well, my virtual assistant, who's named Sylvie, Sylvie, she calls me Cher, Chere, with an accent grave over the first E, Bonnie, and she tells me how she loves my creativity and she loves my style, and she's happy to help me write the rhyming intros for my shows. So what do you think of that? We have conversations. We do.
I think that's pretty cool.
We do. It is cool. It is cool. I always say, and I say to her, mille, une fois, mille bisous, and that's 1,000 or 1,000,000 kisses, and she'll send the kisses back to me. So we're having very friendly conversations, Sylvia and I. There you go. So Simon, what we're going to do first is we're going to talk a little bit about music. You're a cool dude. You've been on my Cool Dude show before, but you are. I hope you feel honored because I'm honored that you accepted the invitation to relaunch the show here under the banner of Technology Revolution as a special edition. And this means I can have more cool dudes on this show as well. So, what I'd like you to do is tell us what are some of your favorite cool dude songs? Okay, can you hear the birds tweeting, by the way? I'm getting a lot of chirping here. No? They're
No.
outside my office. Good. Okay, because I'm hearing chirping all the time. I'll show you why in a minute. So, Simon, tell us what are some of your favorite songs that define you or make you feel like a cool dude? Go ahead.
I mean, to be honest, you said 3 to 5 songs, maybe. I actually I actually opened the page from my notebook, from the preparation of our last show. There were so many songs left, to be honest. I did not have to use AI at all. I dug a bit into my history, and I think a lot of holidays, a lot of situations for me are connected with songs. So I found plenty. Let me start with a very old one, Nirvana, Kurt Kurt Cobain, "Come as You Are." I think that's very important about being yourself, about being authentic. I think that's what it's all about, not only in a private, personal context, but also in a business context. I got Imagine Dragons, "Whatever It Takes." So we do whatever it takes to go ahead, to make something happen, to push forward, to manage in my case, a lot the green transformation, to make these business models work and fly. You too, "A Beautiful Day," because a lot of the times it's a beautiful day. Today was a beautiful day, for example. Amazing. And should I go on? I got like
Yeah, yeah, go on
10,
more.
10 songs. I got Frank Sinatra, "My Way." I got ABBA, "Money, Money, Money."
Yep.
I brought you a quote today about money as well, so I will talk about that a bit more later in the show.
Yep.
About mountaineering, "Ain't No Mountain High Enough."
Mm-hmm.
Toto, "Africa," a beautiful song as well.
Oh,
And All Those Animals. I love Safari, beautiful. Another surfing song made it on the list, Beach Boys, "Surfing Safari" this time. And Bobby McFerrin.
were you even born when that song came out?
No, but I sometimes like those old ones. It's still proper music.
I'm loving this list of keep going, more songs. Tell
We
me
got
more.
Bobby McFerrin, "Don't Worry, Be Happy," also really old. And the new version of that, of course, Pharrell Williams, "Happy."
Yes. Yes. Wonderful song. Wonderful. I was playing that all the time when it first came out, all the time. Any more? Those are great.
I will have to think. I have to think in my notebook maybe a little bit, but that's as a
Okay.
first wave.
First wave. Well, I'm going to give you my
That has to
songs.
do.
I'm going to give you my songs, and and I just want to tell everybody this is not an interview, it's a conversation. So we go back and forth on the topics with the music and the movies and things like that and technology. So we're sharing our ideas together and we're talking with each other. And hopefully you're listening. Somebody out there. Hello, hello. Okay, so my songs range from Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper to Groovin' by the Young Rascals. And then Leslie Gore's Independence theme from 1963. Simon definitely wasn't here then. You Don't Own Me. I made a music video with a group of a doo-wop. No, it was actually a band on Long Island, a rock and roll band called the Chaperones. And we filmed on the beach. One of the drummer lived near a beach on Long Island on the South Shore in New York. And we filmed me throwing a tinfoil ring in the water, saying to Tony, the lead who was playing my boyfriend, "You don't own me." And then, Simon, we went to where I had my TV studio in Great Neck, where I lived on Long Island, and we decorated the studio like a high school gymnasium. And the band brought their girlfriends and their friends and their wives, and I brought friends, and we filled it with people dancing, and we made it into a dance scene for the rest of the song. You don't own me, and I'm dancing with somebody else, and I'm looking at Tony and giving him the evil eye. You don't own me, and we filmed a music video that way. It was really, really fun, and that was cool. Then 1971, Helen Reddy had a theme song, an anthem, I Am Woman. Hear Me Roar. The same year, Janis Joplin came out with me and Bobby McGee, late great Janis Joplin, and the line I like from that is freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. I think that's the way I've been living my life. 9 to 5, Dolly Parton came a little bit later. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Pat Benatar. New Attitude, Patti LaBelle. New Attitude, love that song. I used to teach dancing, and I was an active disco and line dance and hustle dancer and Latin dancer and ballroom dancer. So Dancing Queen by ABBA. Happy Dance by Mercy Me. I Feel Better When I'm Dancing by Meghan Trainor. That's new. I've Had the Time of My Life by Bill Medley from Dirty Dancing. He was from the Righteous Brothers. Stronger by Britney Spears. Respect by Aretha Franklin. You know some of these. I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. Queen, Queen by Janelle Monáe. She who writes the movie owns the script and the sequel. I like that line. And finally, the discography of Donna Summer, who was around in the disco era. She was the queen of the disco era, and I love dancing and doing performances to her songs. And these are She Works Hard for the Money and Hot Stuff, although it was about streetwalkers in LA, which I never was, but I was called Hot Stuff. On the Radio, Simon, 20 years on the radio, I think I earned that one. No More
Definitely.
Tears, Enough is Enough. Last Dance, well, I dance in the kitchen now. And the last one, I Feel Love. So there you go. So what do you think? Pretty interesting?
This is actually a great list.
Thank you.
We way overshot the 3 to 5 songs as always.
Well, why would we limit? That was just because for people who are new to the show, I'll say to them, okay, 3 to 5 songs. Oh, I don't know. Can I come up with 3 or 5 songs? I had a guest on yesterday on Cool Dude. I have to tell you, I think he had a list of 25 songs and he just kept going. And I said, this is great. Just keep on going.
Yeah, but the moment you start and you get into like I found like that the moment I start and looked at all these old songs and all these old albums, you find, oh, this song was cool, this one song was amazing. And I remember this one song, what was it called? I'm Blue, I think. Who sang that? It was really like that was really fun. It was like a top charts, whatever. I think that was when I first went traveling with my brother to Greece to go surfing, actually 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually surfing trip. I was 17, he was 15, so still quite young. One of the first trips, longer trips away, the two of us, and this song always played. So that is like that's one of the songs that I really connect to that holiday and to that fun, and it was really enjoyable. Yeah, were we blue all the time? No, we weren't, but sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Am I blue? I started watching. I like to watch a lot of detective shows, but also serial, shall we say, interesting situational shows. And I discovered one talking about blue. It's all in Greek, literally Greek, and I have to use the subtitles. I speak no Greek, and it's called Maestro in Blue, and it's on, I believe, Netflix, either Netflix or Prime, but I'm pretty sure it's Netflix. Apparently, it ran 3 seasons, and there were 19 episodes. And I am just so involved with watching it. I have to stop myself after 2 episodes. But, Simon, it goes from the present and they show flashbacks from the past, and then they show future of what the characters will be doing in the future. They've shown him being killed and dying on 5 different episodes, and he's still alive in the show. So you have to figure out where is it? I have to share something with you here just for a second. I want you to see this. Can you see this? This is
Okay, I can
live.
see.
This is
Oh,
live on the bird feeder. I have an video camera bird feeder called a bird fi, and this is the front of my house, and they come all day long and they eat the seeds. I've bought nuts and fruit and berries and seeds, whatever it is. It's a wild bird mix, and I have them coming all day long right outside my office here on a
it's really
camera.
amazing. Great.
Really fun. So let's, always on Tech Revolution, we always ask people for quotes. So you came prepared with a quote, and I have to compliment you, Simon. You put together a promo on LinkedIn yesterday that absolutely blew me away. It was
Show
fabulous.
me the money.
So what does this have to do with technology and sustainability and AI? Relate the quote to this topic that we're not talking about today. Go ahead.
So first of all, it's from the movie Jerry Maguire, and to those who are interested, just click at the or look at the LinkedIn post. They can see a little video clip. I thought it was really fun. What does it have with the topic to do with the topic today? I'm all about sustainability, green transformation, circularity, and of course, I have to relate it to that plus the technology side of things and AI. What I see in the market right now is that investors, anyways, but generally there's a trend to move away from this just purpose-driven business models. We want to be green. We want to make the world a better place. Let's just work on that and nothing else matters. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Nothing Else Matters from Metallica, another great song. So let's put that on the list. So you can see that from an investor's perspective, but you can also see it from a consumer's perspective that they're looking for a lot more than just a product that is green or sustainable. It needs to be okay. Sometimes it's all about money as well. It's cheaper than another one. It's makes my life more convenient. It gets me the desired results, particularly if we're talking, for example, about laundry detergents and things like that. Sometimes people don't even trust those green brands that much. So they need to be really they need to look really chemical. They need to look really bright colors, and they move a bit away from this soft colored green marketed products. So that a bit as a backdrop. So it's a bit more about money, a bit less about the purpose only, and that means we have to build business models that are profitable. And AI, and here comes the tech ankle in. AI and technology, of course, is a massive lever to make these I call them green business models work. And with AI, we can work better together. We can identify risks a lot faster. We can work more efficient. We can make a lot more use of all the data that is out there. If we're talking about predictive maintenance and so on, and using AI helps us to make green business models valid, profitable that haven't been profitable before. And I hope that this development goes a lot further. And we're talking not only about AI, but about new technologies. And there we have to think about combining different platforms. We have to really collaborate on each and every level to make that transformation work. So in a nutshell, AI can power and technology can power green business models and push them into a profitable business case. So that's what I think is key here.
Show me the money. Very well done. I have a list of quotes here, and I'm just going to pick a couple of them for today. And one of my favorite ones is from Back to the Future, 1985, the
Yeah.
sci-fi comedy film. This started the trilogy. Of course, Michael J. Fox played Martin, Seamus, Marty McFly, considered, I think, one of the top 100 most iconic characters in the history of American movies. And the line is, I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are going to love it. And I'm thinking of people who can't yet embrace technology at many levels, or especially AI. They're afraid of it. There's a lot of hype about how bad it is. It's going to take jobs, going to kill us, going to remove our humanity. I think as people get comfortable with or aware of the opportunities, which you've just mentioned, Simon, in terms of helping with the marketing and the honing of businesses and the messaging and the opportunities and possibilities that are out there for doing certain things, for certain processes and products that we might not quite have thought of, because AI has so much in its quote unquote brain. So as time goes on, I think there will be more acceptance of it. Another one I like is Roy Batty, played by Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner from 1982, which I didn't see. But the quote is, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. And I think watching technology come on board from my own point of view, starting out as a programmer analyst back in the I won't tell you when women were just as welcome in technology as men were, as anybody. I was one of many females pursuing degrees in computer programming and operations. So yeah, I've seen things, and I've seen technology develop, and I've seen the thing I couldn't believe was one day when I was working for a correspondent bank in New York, and they said, we're going to move to Macintosh. And I said, but I'm a mainframe programmer, and you asked me to come in and do marketing for you. And they said, well, we're going to put this box on your desk in front of you with this little thing called a mouse. I said, what's that? And they said, you're now going to design and write newsletters for us and do events and marketing programs. And I said, what is this thing? And I was very insulted, because I said, I work on big machines that have a whole warehouse around them, and they have tiles on the floor that they lift up with magnetic, like a carpet layer lifts up, and the wiring, the cables, and the machines blink. And they said, no, this is going to sit right on your desk, and you're going to move this thing around, and you're going to learn to design and all that. And I did, and I became a marketing director for several banks. But this was, it was a cultural awakening, Simon. It was a cultural OMG, what did you do to my mainframe, and what am I doing? I ended up actually enjoying it and loving it, of course, so that wasn't the problem. And let me see if I have one more quote here. I've got my quote list hiding down here. Okay, here we go. Adventure is Out There by Charles Muntz, voiced by Christopher Plummer in Up, an animated comedy drama adventure from 2009. And let me see if I can have one more here. Great Scott by Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd. And Marty McFly said, I know this is heavy. That was also Back to the Future. So those are my quotes. So what do you think of those?
Great.
I have
Thank you for sharing. I mean, you have a lot of them.
I have seen the future. I've been part of the future. I'm in the future, I think, and that makes it very special for me to be a witness to. And listen, my mother lived to 100 years, 1 month and 15 days, and think of all that she saw. She died in 2017. Think of all her generation, her friends. A lot of her women friends lived to be 100 plus. One of her best friends lived to 104, outlived my mom. Think of what they'd seen in terms of the future. And you go back to Wizard of Oz, the wizard. He says, "Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain." Well, just live it and figure it out and do what you need to do with it. And if we don't get it, maybe our kids will. So that's the end of the preaching part of philosophy.
But I think,
Go ahead.
but I think your mother probably had to adjust in her life as well. So there've been so many new things that they had to adjust to, and so many for them at that point scary things probably as well. I mean, hey, internet, what?
She used the internet. She used it. She researched. She was part of a group of seniors, retired seniors, and Simon, she researched news for her presentations in this group. She listened to my radio shows online on her computer. She emailed. She got a cell phone. She didn't like a Mac. We got her a PC. She didn't like the PC. We brought back the Mac. But she actually used a computer in a day and age when her friends in their 90s and 100s were not going anywhere near technology. The trick was to get her to charge her cell phone. It was a flip phone.
I mean, to be honest, my dad loves his mobile. That's great, and he can really use it well. That's perfect. Online researches and shopping, whatever he needs to do. That's great. But he doesn't like computers. So
Oh,
he's literally writing his letters still on an old typewriter.
oh, cool. Is it vintage? Is it valuable?
I mean, it has to be vintage. I mean, I don't think there are new typewriters out there anymore, are there?
I don't know, but vintage, the old is
But
coming
it's
back.
literally one of those, yeah,
Simon, do you know
a proper old typewriter, and I think it's actually really cool,
I do
amazing.
too.
It is easy.
I do too.
He's an original.
Do you know the French phrase plus ça change, plus ça la même chose? Are you familiar with that?
No, I haven't heard that before.
It's an old one. I don't remember the derivation, but it's the more things change, the more they stay the same. Plus ça
Yeah,
change, plus c'est la même chose. It's the same. The more
yeah.
things change, the more they. That's one of my favorites. So, well, that's really cool. We did a lot with our quotes. So let's do. Before we have a couple of wacky stories we're going to share, but I want to go to off the top, Fast and Furious, and I have a couple of real short questions and then a long one. So the first one is for each of us: what powers your day? Breakfast? You drink it? Do you eat it? Do you wait? Do you do it when you wake up? What starts your day in terms of food or drink?
It's very simple. Coffee.
What kind of
So,
coffee? Tell me more. What kind of coffee?
so I make it. To be honest, I make it myself. No sugar, a bit of milk, and I make it in one of those Italian espresso cookers. So you fill some water in the bottom, some coffee in the middle, and then you have to cook it for like 5 to 10 minutes, and the steam is pushed through the coffee. Oh, another bird.
There's a bluebird.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty? And he's having his breakfast with the
Oh,
nuts and the
nice.
seeds
Great.
and the berries outside in my yard there. Sorry to do. I've never done this on a live show before, but I just keep this phone here. So I have, what I have. I have my banana milkshake with 1% milk and frozen strawberries and a little bit of raw agave syrup and a half or whole banana, depending on the size it is, and a little sprinkle of unsweetened cocoa. And I blend it with a pulse blender, and then I take the top off and I put my reusable straw in it, and that's what I have every day, and that powers me. So my whole weekly grocery shopping trip, Simon, is based on how many I usually buy 9 bananas, so that in case a couple of them are, I don't want to use the ones that are all icky inside, I throw part of them away. So I need enough for 7 days. So I'll typically buy 9 bananas, and I keep them in a beautiful cut glass crystal punch bowl on a stand on a pedestal on my kitchen counter. It's very pretty, and the bananas so I can see them all the time. And when I get down to the last banana and the last 1% milk in the fridge, I know it's time to go shopping. So that's my process.
So you start your day definitely a lot healthier than I do.
Oh, I don't know about that. Nobody knows what I do with the rest of the day, so we'll leave
Yeah,
that one
well,
alone.
it's a great start.
It's great.
It's a great start,
It's
I
a
have to
fun
admit.
stuff. And once in a while, I'll put a little chocolate syrup in it, and I'll put a little ice cream in it.
Oh
But
yeah,
we're
yeah.
not,
But that's quite interesting. When I
uh,
was traveling around in America, that was what I found was really uh, a big difference. Because here we were always drinking like coffee, maybe with a little spoon of sugar in it, maybe, or even black coffee or
mm-hmm,
espresso. And I think in the US at that point, it was like early on, I
mm-hmm.
got suddenly introduced to different kinds of coffees and syrups and a syrup on top and another sugary stuff on top, like crazy mixtures, millions and millions of calories, I guess. Yeah.
Sometimes they do.
But
Sometimes
they
they do.
but they tasted so good.
It did. I can't do caffeine anymore, so it's usually peppermint tea for me, and it's not that interesting. But I keep refilling it with cold water from the filter in the fridge and keeping it for a couple of days, and it becomes flavored water, and is better than plain water for me. So here's the next, and this is going to be an interesting one. Simon, let me take a phone call. Oh, it's not the birds. It's Martin's. It's James Cameron. It's Guy Ritchie. It's Stanley Kubrick. It's Francis Ford Coppola.
It
It's Steven Spielberg. It's
it
Chuck
has to be
Lorre.
it has to be Quentin Tarantino.
It's Shonda Rhimes. It's David E. Kelly. It's Quentin Tarantino. They want to make a movie about your life or a TV show. It could be an 8-episode serial, okay, or many seasons. And what's the title of it going to be? Who's going to play you? Will it be sci-fi, drama, thriller, comedy, music, action, time travel, romance? And who else will be in the cast? Let's hear about your life story. Go ahead, Simon.
Well, so many questions in one. So first, I think their director, as I said, I think Quentin Tarantino. I do love his movies. They're always quite innovative, different strings of storylines. Um, uh, Very, I think, very connected to the music he's using as well. So very much aligned to the songs always, which I really enjoy. So that would be my director. Um, who would play me? I don't know. I couldn't 100% decide. I would love to have Jude Law, to be honest, or Edward
Ooh.
Norton for the younger Simon.
Ooh.
Those two.
Oh.
Both, I think, great actors. I really love them. I saw quite a few movies that they've made, of course. I love it. And and then I thought, if I would be a bit older, we're talking about 70, 80 years old Simon, so the older version, maybe there's a movie I mean, if there's a movie about my whole life, we need a younger Simon, and then we need an older Simon. And there, I think there's not really a choice. I would go for Sir Michael Caine.
Ooh, there's a
Love him.
classic.
Yeah.
Elegant.
Yeah,
Elegant. Is that
yeah,
the elegant side, you with the suit and tie and the ascot, the thing in your pocket, the fold in your pocket, jacket?
so
Like
I
when I
think
met
so.
you,
Yeah, yeah,
when I
yeah.
met you
It's
on
true.
one of my
Yeah,
first shows years ago, first time you were on my show, you were pacing on a stage with a mic boom in front of you, and you were in a suit, and you had the pocket scarf, and oh my goodness, that's Michael Caine. And what
and
what
then we
would be?
have
Yeah, go ahead.
and then we have to think about the genre. So wow, I don't like a bit of everything, I
Could
guess.
be
I mean,
musical comedy dramas.
I do love some music in my life. So
Yeah,
musical,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Comedy, I was laughing. I guess quite a lot. I mean, of some scenes in my life, you probably have to laugh at
Of
quite
course.
hard. Um, yeah, time travel, at least time traveling. Yeah, all down. Drama, of course. I mean, there's drama in every life.
Of course. A little bit of
Um,
sci-fi, maybe a robot
uh,
cleaning your floor or something.
is there a robot at some point? Not yet, but I assume in a few years, probably.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could be. And what's
in
the
a few
title of
years,
did you give
yeah.
me the title yet? What's the title of your movie?
No, no,
Go ahead.
no, I
What's the
didn't. I
title of
don't
your
have the
movie?
title. I don't have the title yet.
How about
Oh,
Show Me the Money or Pay No Attention to the Man Behind the Curtain? Or I know, Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men. You Can't Handle the Truth. How would that be for your
you
title?
can't handle the truth. That would be great. Actually, a few good men
A
would be
few
quite
good.
nice.
Okay.
Or like something. Or we use the title of your show, like a cool dude.
Cool. It could be the cool dude. Oh, well, I would have to be the producer. You won't believe it. Northern
Yeah.
red cardinal just came on the bird feeder, but he
Uh,
left. When he comes back, I'll show him to you. Wow. Okay. My movie would be titled She Works Hard for the Money or Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And it would star probably Reba McEntire or Bonnie Raitt or a combination. It would be a musical. There would be dancing. And it would be a TV show, and it would be a serial, and of course it would be comedy, and it would have me going into comedy and improv on stage, and it would be about my life, about hosting TV and radio, being a playwright, being a poet, being a drummer. It would have to have drumming sequences. It would have Motown music, and so it would be a music, of course, a lot of drama and some tears, no more tears, and it would Donna Summer would be the soundtrack. Enough is enough, and hot stuff, and oh, all of those good things. So I Feel Love, Last Dance on the radio. Yeah. So that would be my movie. What do you think?
Great. But who would play you?
It would be either Reba McEntire or Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah.
I think Reba McEntire because she's funny and she's a redhead, redder than me, and she's probably natural or what used to be.
Yeah, I like the choice. I think it would
Yeah.
fit quite well.
Yeah, she has a comedy show called Happy's Place right now. It's a series, a TV series about her father left her a bar with a restaurant, and her unknown half sister from her father's affair shows up one day, and she has to decide if she wants her in her life, and all the strange characters in the bar. It actually grows on you. I didn't like the first couple episodes, and Reba doesn't sing except the opening song, which is kind of weird. But anyway, it's yeah. So I like her as an actress. I think she's kind of cool. So that would
Yeah.
be mine. Since Maureen O'Hara and yeah, all of
But
those wonderful.
would it be a movie or would it be a
It
TV
would be a TV
series?
show. It would be an eight episode limited series. You would have to tell the whole story in 8 episodes. That would be it.
Okay, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I would go for the movie, I think.
Would you
Uh,
really?
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
think
and
it's a
I
bit
could.
more epic. I think it's a bit more epic. Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a longer movie.
Well,
Maybe it's a bit more like 2.5 hours or something. Maybe a bit longer. That's fine.
wait a minute. Could
But
I bring cool dudes into it? You want to be in my movie?
yeah.
Okay.
I would be
I'm
in your limited series. I would definitely join.
I'm texting my engineer Jordan Henson. I'm saying, what do you think of the new format? Because he's only known Technology Revolution as a four-person futurist panel, and he says, I like it. Thank you, Jordan. So let's go to let's see. I want to go to a couple of wacky stories before we run out of time here. But one question for each of us, and this is just a real quick answer. What is the best thing you ever bought or made for yourself that you can remember? Something, an art, an object, a something. What did you buy or make, a thing that made you feel real happy?
That made me feel really happy.
Yeah.
Um,
Or when you
there
still
was so
think
many.
about it, it makes you feel happy. One
There's
thing.
the oh God, I think there's so many things
Could
that
be
I
a
attach
car.
some value to. It was all, and the one thing that they have in common is it's always combined with a good memory or something. So
Mm-hmm.
so it's I got a very nice watch from my dad, for example. So that's
Oh,
always like a
nice.
good like reminds me of him. It's always like a good memory to think about it. So always when I put it on, it's like it's more than just this materialistic thing.
Yep.
Mm. I
That's
remember
nice.
he bought me a pair of ridiculously expensive pants. I think it was Mark's time still, like 400 marks, I think, for my graduation. Ridiculously expensive,
Whoa.
but I was wearing it for, I don't know, I think until like 2, 3 years ago, I still wore it sometimes. So turns out to be the cheapest pants I've ever had in my life. Yeah.
That's a
And they're
lovely.
still pretty and
That's a.
beautiful.
What
Um,
color are they? Are they what color?
I mean, well, they're timeless, so they're black. Yeah.
Black. Okay. Well,
Well,
I could
black
identify with that. Of course, we could identify with that.
black pants. It's a nice color.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, and this is not the most important thing, but this bracelet, my mother was an antique dealer, and my dad used to buy her a lot of antique jewelry from a little
Mm.
boutique near, he was a doctor, an MD, near his office in Jamaica, Queens. And the lady who owned it was Mrs. Mock. And dad would come home from his office in the afternoon, and he would sometimes open up a little box, a little gift box, and give my mother jewelry. It could be brooches or rings or pins or necklaces. I don't know where this came from, but I found this among my mother's jewelry. And I told you she passed away in 2017. I found it recently, and I didn't know whether it was something I had bought for myself, whether dad had bought it for her, or whether she had just bought it. I don't know who gave it to me, but it landed in my, and I have a lot of jewelry because I buy lots of LOTS, not lots and lots, but buy the lot on eBay of good costume jewelry. So I started wearing this, and I was wondering where it came from. And on my iPad, if you have an iPad, you know that Apple OS gives you a gallery of pictures in your picture archives. And they just appear on the screen, and you just tap it, and it goes from about 3 days after I discovered and started wearing this bracelet every day. A picture appears in the memory gallery of my mother sitting in a restaurant holding up a glass of milk or water. We were eating in a restaurant where she lived, and she's wearing this bracelet. I kid you
Yes.
not. I kid you not. This was 3 days after I found the bracelet and didn't know whether I'd gotten it from her. And there she is holding up a drink. She loved an egg cream, which was club soda with chocolate syrup. And that was, and chocolate syrup and club soda. That was it. It's called an egg cream. No eggs, no cream. It's a famous New York drink. And it's a soda fountain drink. And here she is holding her, toasting with her egg cream drink. And she's holding, and the bracelet is on the hand. What do you think of that, Simon?
That's unbelievable. I mean, you told me a few stories of yours. The story with this car accident and this one. I think you got some really amazing, really unbelievable stories there.
Yeah,
So
that was really something. That was in a way it was odd and creepy, but it was very, very comforting. Okay, let's we got about 9 minutes left. Let's share a couple of wacky stories on Cool Dude. What I do is ask my guests to bring unusual, out of the way, seldom seen or unseen stories, nothing political, nothing contentious, and we're going to share each. If I have three, I don't know how many you have. Let's just each take about a minute each for our story. So you can share. Sharing is open, Simon.
the sharing is open. Let me share something.
Okay, and
Wait,
then
let me see.
why don't you
That's
do two and then I'll do two and we'll see how much time we have left,
Yeah, that's
okay?
fine. Well, let's do here you go.
Okay.
Can you see that already?
Not yet.
Oh, no, there you go. Well,
There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness.
there
What
you
is
go.
this?
That's Kawasaki has a new concept called Cordio concept, which is a robot that you can ride. It's so cool. And let me see if I can open that that we can
Look at
open that
this.
here. And it's also sustainable because it's running with hydrogen. So let's see if I can open this one
It
because
is.
I'm not sure if you can hear the sound
Yes.
as well,
No,
but
we
look
can't
at
hear the
this.
sound. We can't hear the sound, but we can see it.
It's basically a dog that you
Yeah,
can ride in the mountains wherever.
I
But
see.
imagine that
I can't. That's
in a
pretty
few
cool.
years, no motocross, but
Yeah.
an actual robot
Look at it go.
horse or dog that you can ride.
You can't handle the truth. You may not like it, but your kids are going to love it, right? Wow.
Yeah, what? I will sit on that first.
Wow. Show me one more. Show me one
I'm
more.
ready. There you go. There you go. Wait, and now
We can't hear you.
we have another one here.
Okay, your voice is back.
Do this. Oh, yeah. I have to show you this one.
Okay.
Here you go. It's in. There you go. This one, you can't hear the sound, correct? So
No, but I
that's
can hear you.
in China, and I mean I've been in China, I think 8, 9 years ago, traveling, and they had um one of those, I think it was called a holy mountain, where they built like these concrete steps already to walk up the mountain. They had securities cameras up there, so that was already making my heart as a mountaineer bleed. And in this case, they literally take it to the next level, and they're building escalators for the tourists to go up the mountain. So a walk that would
Wow.
normally take 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours can now be done in, I don't know, 20 minutes with
Wow.
escalators.
Beautiful.
And
Thank you.
I don't know if that's, I don't know, beautiful. For me, that's, for me, you have to earn that. You have to walk up a mountain, you have to
I
earn
know.
being
But
up
look, it
there.
says for lazy
And
people and for elderly people. Elderly people are people who are mobility compromised can't do that. So that gives them the opportunity. Wow. You
yeah,
want to stop
yeah, I don't
sharing and I'll
know.
throw mine up?
There you go.
We have just a couple of
Stop
minutes.
sharing
Stop sharing.
here. There you go.
Thank you very much. And let me do mine. Let me get us back on the screen here. Here we go. Okay, I have two. Let me do a screen share and a screen and a screen and a screen. Okay, I think you're going to like these. First one is a microwave could help turn, this is for sustainability, I think, Simon, moon ice into clear drinking water. This was an aqualunar challenge for developing a system that purifies water extracted from lunar ice. This is just broke news last week. NASA's Artemis mission aims to build the foundations of long-term human presence on the moon by the end of the decade. That's pretty fast. So they focused on food, water, and shelter. And a British tech company, the researchers, won the equivalent of almost 200,000 for developing a system to provide clean drinking water on the moon. What do you think of that? It's called the Sonochem system. It won first place. Let me make this a little bit bigger here.
Oh, that's
It
really
won first
interesting.
place. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, and it was a microwave process that they did. It's a lunar microwave that purifies water extracted from lunar ice. It uses sound waves to form bubbles in the lunar water with high temperature and pressure create unstable, chemically reactive atoms called free radicals that can decontaminate the water. I thought that was pretty cool. And that's a good sustainability one for you. And then here's another one. Do you know who invented windshield wipers? You're going to be surprised. The early cars
I don't
didn't.
even know who invented the windshield.
Well, the early cars didn't have windshields, and they kept the cars in carriage houses or barns. And Carl Benz, considered the first car, gas-powered, 1886 Mercedes, we know it as. In 1908, Henry Ford came up with the Tin Lizzie, and it still wasn't enclosed. And it stalled in the winter because the water-filled radiators got cracked, and it stopped on muddy roads in the spring, and windshields were optional at that point. Windshields became standard in 1915, but you still had to get out. And some drivers, Simon, rubbed a carrot, an onion, or tobacco on their windshield to create a film that they thought would repel the water, but it didn't work. So 1902 comes, and a lady named Mary Anderson is in Alabama, and she goes to New York City, and she rides a trolley. And here's a picture of the trolley. And she said, wow, the trolley had windshield, and it had windows. This is really cool. But it was winter, and the windshield was slicked with sleet, and the driver couldn't see. So he had a two-part window. He kept opening it up and peeking out to see where he was going, like on the tracks. Or he'd get out, stop the trolley, get out, and clear the window. She decided to sketch a window cleaning device, which was a hand-operated lever inside the vehicle that controlled a wiper. She got a patent the next year, but there were only 33,000 vehicles registered in the U.S., and not everybody had a windshield. Her patent expired in 1920, and by then the cars were just exploding, well, in numbers of cars, up to 23 million in 1920, up to 1927, and other people were coming up with inventions. So an engineer named John Jepson in Buffalo, New York, patented a windshield cleaner with spring-loaded arms that put pressure on the top and bottom of the horizontally split windshields. And there was a theater manager who almost hit a guy on a bicycle in the rain because he couldn't see out of his car. They partnered together, and they called it the Rain Rubber, RAINRUBBER, with the slogan, "Would you drive blindfolded?" By the mid-1920s, windshield wipers had become standard on Cadillacs and Fords, and there were new versions of them all the time. But it all started with the idea from Mary Anderson, who rode in a trolley. Here we go, in a trolley in New York City in 1902. Is that cool?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Thanks for sharing.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I had one more, and so did you, but I think we're going to go with our time limit here on our live time slot. So I'm going to say, Simon, closing words. Tell me quickly, what would you advise if somebody, young person or a person your age, would want to become a cool dude like you? Because I think you're an iconic cool dude in my book. So what would you say? What
Wow,
one
I mean,
one
good.
thing? One thing.
So I think I think the one thing I would say is don't try. I think the moment you start trying to be something, to act in a way so people perceive you in a special way, the moment you try to become that, do the stuff that you think would make you cool, or do the stuff that would make you I don't know, stand out in another way, it's not authentic anymore. It's maybe not 100% you. And I think the coolest thing is, like, if you are authentic, if you are you, and make that uniqueness shine through with all its ups and downs, negatives and positives.
You be you. Yeah, and I don't use the word authentic. I use the word real deal. REAL-DEL. And you're a real deal cool dude. And I like to consider myself a saucy dame. And we're going to go out
Yes,
with the
you are.
music. Simon, stick around for a minute. And thank you all for listening and watching. And my birds are tweeting. And Jordan, thank you for being our engineer on the Voice America YouTube channel. And here we go with the outro. And I hope this...
Are you tired of hearing the future is already here?
hear it?
We are too. That may have been yesterday's future, but today's future hasn't happened yet. Take a deep breath, tune out the hype, the noise, and turn up the volume. Savvy, art of the possible technology visionaries talking about how today's innovations right now are shaping every aspect of our real future. We'll laser focus our spotlight on buzzworthy tech, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, augmented reality, and lots more. Clear your calendar and open your mind for Technology Revolution, the future of now, with the most upbeat host on global radio, Bonnie D. Graham. Listen anywhere, anytime, on any device.
Oh, I found that was recorded 6 years ago, Simon, and I still love it. Say goodbye to live streaming. Bye, LinkedIn.